Well, the number of murders related to domestic violence this year, those continue to climb. Just this week, investigators say a man confessed to stabbing his wife to death in Colleyville. Our Marvin Hurst spoke with experts at the Genesis Women's Shelter. They gave him an interactive look at this complex and very deadly issue.
I caught up with Genesis Shelter and Support at the Conference for Crimes Against Women. They were running an exercise called In Her Shoes, and they let me do just that. I am a character who is an attorney by the name of Tasha. I met Curtis 13 years ago when I was still in law school. Inside of this conference room are tables that are labeled for the many steps that a victim might have to go through, not just once, but many times. Professionals who work with domestic violence victims have to run the very same drill that I'm going through. They read what the character is going through and make decisions based on what's in front of them. He puts his hands around her throat. She can't breathe. You blank out for a moment.
So I'm going to give you the victim sign because now you get to carry around this label that you're a victim. And then you get to decide, do you want to go to the doctor now that you've been strangled, or do you want to go to a friend?
At this point, Tasha goes to a friend. She skips out on a support group and buries herself in work. One night you start crying at your desk. The cleaning lady sees you. Curtis lures her onto a hot air balloon where he gets down on bended knee. There is one night that he asks for $10,000 for a yacht because he's gone through her financial papers without her permission. When Tasha decides to speak up, well, Curtis doesn't let you leave. He drags you by your hair into the bedroom. He starts punching you and kicking you. She goes to her mother, who then takes her to their minister. He prays for her, recommends couples counseling, and that she understands the stresses in Curtis's life. It is her hairstylist who gets her to an advocate. The advocate suggests that you call the police if Curtis becomes violent again. You tell her that you don't trust the police.
But you're experiencing the frustration. I can see it in your face.
It's in my face. Yeah, I'm just like, I feel for her. You know what I mean? I'm just like, everybody is, her choices are, they're vast, but they're limited. And then I feel like she's stuck in a cycle.
And I'm glad that you didn't end up at the funeral, because we do have a funeral table. We've printed off some real stories from the news of women who've been killed by their intimate partners.
So these tables were all in one room, and that is not the reality for the women and men who have to try to escape their abusers before it's too late. Genesis is available if you need help 24/7 in English or in Spanish.
Well, Marvin also spoke with the shelter about financial abuse and what's being called spiritual abuse. You can find it online at cbsnewstexas.com. Give it